The Galactic Council Hall was filled with bright lights, floating chairs, and powerful voices. Leaders from over 50 alien species were gathered in the grand chamber on the station orbiting the twin stars of Valerian. These leaders controlled most of the known galaxy. Trade, peace, and war were all decided here, and today they were laughing. "Earth," said High Lord Gralic of the Thurn Empire. "You called this meeting for that little dirtball." More laughter echoed through the room. "They send old satellites into space and think they're explorers," said Ziratan, the six-eyed delegate from the Croc. "They burn fuel like cave beasts." "Primitive, slow, loud," hissed a voice from the shadows. It belonged to the Quiet Ones, a race that almost never spoke, but even they were mocking Earth. At the center of the hall, one figure did not laugh. He was tall, armored in dark red steel, with 3 glowing eyes. His name was Admiral Vex of the Zeroth Empire. He had seen war in every quadrant of the stars. He knew danger, even when others didn't. "I didn't call this meeting to joke," Vex said slowly. "I called it because Earth is changing." Laughter stopped. "What do you mean?" asked Chancellor Throck of the Core Worlds, his tone now more serious. Vex raised one arm. A hologram appeared above the center of the chamber. It showed the Sol system, the sun, its planets, and the small blue world called Earth. But strange. Energy patterns were now forming around Earth's orbit. Faint at first, but then rising. Waves of power not seen before. "This started 3 cycles ago," Vex explained. "Our probes detected an energy field. It was small, then it grew. Fast." "So what?" asked Ziratan, unimpressed. "Maybe they blew up one of their cities. They do that often." "No," Vex said firmly. "We sent a Class 7 observer drone, cloaked, silent. It was designed to scan Earth's orbit and return." He tapped the controls. The hologram changed. A red blinking dot marked the drone's last position. After that, nothing. It vanished. Vex said. "No explosion, no signal. Just ... gone." The hall was quiet now. A few council members shifted in their chairs. "Perhaps the drone malfunctioned," said Arthok. Vex shook his head. "Then explain this." He played an audio clip. 4 words echoed through the chamber. "Calm, clear, cold. Do not test us." It was spoken in Galactic Standard, the language of trade, law, and diplomacy. Earth had no reason to know it. Permission to use it. Gasps filled the room. "That's impossible," Ziratan muttered. "They're not advanced enough." "They are now," Vex replied. "Some leaders still didn't believe," they argued, saying Earth was just getting lucky. Or maybe another species was hiding there. But Vex knew better. "We ignored them for too long," he warned. "We watched their wars, their machines, their strange progress. But we never asked what drives them. Why do they grow so fast, even after every disaster?" The room stayed silent. "They have something," Vex continued. "Something buried. Deep. Not just weapons. Something ancient. Hidden." The council began to feel uneasy. They were the rulers of stars, but Earth. Earth was not afraid of them. "We'll send another drone," suggested one leader. "No," said another. "They warned us that message wasn't a mistake." "They're just one planet," Ziratan argued. "If they try anything, we'll wipe them out." Admiral Vex stared at him with his burning red eyes. "That's what the Varnak said about a small moon on the edge of Sector 9. Do you remember what happened to them?" Everyone did. The Varnaks were wiped out in a single day, not by ships, but by a strange pulse that erased memory, data, and life. No one ever found the source, and now, Vex said, the same pattern appears on Earth. He let his words hang in the air. "They're not the same humans we once watched from afar. Something has awakened. If we laugh now," he turned off the hologram, "we may not laugh again." The council sat in silence. For the first time, they began to wonder, what had Earth become? And worse, what would happen if it decided to strike first? The Galactic Council had finally stopped laughing. Admiral Vex's warning had silenced the chamber. Even the proudest empires grew nervous. Earth had sent a message, and it wasn't friendly. No one knew how the humans did it, but they now spoke the language of the stars, and they spoke with confidence. Still, the council was not ready to believe completely. Many thought Vex was overreacting. Some thought Earth was bluffing. So they made a decision. They would send a new probe. Bigger, stronger, smarter it was called. Door. Black I-9, a top-tier observer drone from the Zereth Empire. It had cloaking better than any known system. It could scan energy, record transmissions, and teleport back with data in under 60 seconds. It had never failed a mission. The probe was launched quietly from the edge of the Sol system. It slipped. Past Neptune, past Saturn, and then toward Earth. Inside the Galactic Council war room, a group of senior officers watched from a secure screen. Vex stood at the center. He said nothing. His eyes were fixed on the timer. 0:20 the probe reached. Mars 032, it crossed into Earth's orbit. 0:45 scanning began. Then, silence. 0:58, 1:04, 1:30. Still no signal. The room grew tense. "Where is the data return?" asked Chancellor Herthok. "No signal detected," replied a tech officer. Vex clenched his fist. "It's not coming back." Screen flickered. A message had appeared, but it didn't come from the probe. It came from Earth. Only for words appeared across every monitor. "Do not test us." Everyone stared. The message had no data tag, no transmission path. It had simply arrived as if Earth was already inside their systems, watching them, controlling them. "How?" whispered a voice. Vex took a slow breath. "They knew we sent the probe. They didn't destroy it, captured it, and used it to speak again." "This is an act of war," shouted a general. "Or a warning," Vex replied. "A final one." But many leaders were angry now. Earth had dared to threaten the Council again. Some demanded punishment. Some wanted to bomb Earth from orbit. Some called for full invasion. But Vex was thinking deeper. They knew. "Our probe's location," he said. "They understood our tech. They responded in our language. All in less than 1 minute." One officer looked pale. "We've underestimated them." "No," Vex said coldly. "We forgot what makes humans dangerous." Long ago, Earth had been watched for entertainment. Their wars, their struggles, their speed of learning, it was all like a show for the galaxy. But now, the show was over. Earth was writing its own script, back on Earth, hidden in deep mountains and underground bunkers. Human command teams were watching the stars too. They had seen the probe, captured it, learned from it, and they knew something the Council didn't. The next move would not be a warning. 3 hours later, in a dark corner of space, a lone scout ship from the Varix Dominion crossed into Earth's orbit. It wasn't part of the Council's mission. It was there to take advantage of the situation, maybe steal some tech or send back secret scans. The Vrax ship activated its deep cloak. It disappeared from sight. Then, in less than 1 second, it disappeared from existence. No explosion. Sound? No trace. The ship was gone, not destroyed. Erased in the control room of Earth's orbital defense system, a quiet voice reported. "Unauthorized object removed. Target neutralized. No alarm triggered." Another officer nodded. "Run silent. Keep scanning. Next one might come faster." They were calm, focused, ready. For years, Earth had hidden its true power. It's not because it was weak, but because it was patient. They had watched the galaxy mock them, study them, even steal from them. Now, Earth had learned everything it needed to know, and for the first time in history, the galaxy didn't know what Earth would do next. The Galactic Council was on edge. 2 probes had vanished near Earth. 1 pirate ship was completely erased. And Earth had sent the same message twice. "Do not test us." Some leaders wanted peace. But others, especially the war-loving Vrax Dominion, were angry. They believed Earth was showing off. To them, this was weakness that needed to be crushed. Vrax High Marshal Droger was furious. "They are one planet, one weak world with no empire. We will show them fear." Without waiting for full council approval, Droger launched a secret attack on Earth's moon. The target, Lunar Base X-9. It was the only human base the Council knew about. They believed it was just for mining and research, no weapons, no threat. They were wrong. 3 Varrox warships exited hyperspace near the moon. Each one was the size of a city, fully armed, protected by shields that could survive a sun flare. Their orders were simple: destroy the base, leave wreckage behind, send a message. To Earth, from orbit, they began the attack. Laser beams rained down. Kinetic bombs smashed into the surface. Heat cannons turned the gray dust into firestorms. The Vrax crew laughed. It was easy. Too easy. But as the smoke cleared, their screens showed something strange. The base was untouched. No damage, no holes, not even a scratch. The Vrax captain ordered a second strike more powerful. The warships launched everything they had, and again, nothing. The base was still standing. Calm, silent. Then something terrifying happened. From behind the moon, a single black shape rose into space. It wasn't large, not bigger than a frigate. But it moved with perfect speed and no sound. It was a Terran warship, sleek, jet black, no markings. Just a faint blue glow under its surface like it was alive. The Vrax captain shouted, "Scan it. Find its weaknesses." But scanners gave nothing. No readings, no energy. It was like the ship wasn't real. Then the ship sent a message. Just one line. "This is your only warning." Seconds later, it opened fire, but not with lasers or missiles. The space around it bent, twisted like light itself was afraid. The Vrax ships began to fall apart from the inside. Their systems died, shields collapsed, walls cracked. One by one, all 3 Varrox warships vanished into silence. No fire, no explosion, just gone. The human ship stayed still for a moment. Then it slowly turned back and disappeared behind the moon. In the council hall, the news arrived fast. Vrax Dominion leaders were in shock. They had lost 3 top warships. No survivors, no escape pods, just silence. "What kind of weapon does Earth have?" one voice asked. "It didn't show any energy spikes," said another. "No heat, no light, no trace." Vex stood quietly in the corner. He already knew the truth. They didn't just build weapons, he said. Inbuilt. Silence. And silence is more deadly than noise. Zeraton, who once laughed at Earth, now looked pale. If that's only one ship, how many more are waiting? The question hit everyone in the room, because if Earth had more ships like that, then no fleet was safe. Back on the moon, Lunar, Base X-9's command room was calm. A human officer stood watching the starfield through a thick observation window. His voice was steady. 3 hostiles neutralized. No Earth assets harmed. Another officer spoke. "Orders. Stay dark. If they attack again, we respond. 1 ship at a time is enough." He smiled slightly. "They still don't understand what we've built." The room went quiet, then lights dimmed. The base returned to full stealth, because Earth didn't want to fight. But if the galaxy pushed too far, Earth would show them what real fear looked like. Far away from the stars and warships. Deep under Earth's frozen surface, something ancient was waking up. Antarctica was cold, dark, and deadly. For thousands of years, nothing lived deep beneath. It's ice. But Earth's defense leaders had built something there, not just a base, but a vault. And inside that vault was a secret even most humans didn't know about. After the failed attack on Lunar Base X-9, the Galactic Council was desperate for answers. How did humans destroy 3 warships with only 1 small ship? How were they hiding their tech? What kind of power did they really have? A secret team was formed by the Kral Syndicate, known for spying and stealing alien tech. They were silent, skilled, and ruthless. Their mission: enter Earth, find the source of its power, and return with data. They were told Earth had no way to detect them. That was their first mistake. The team entered Earth's atmosphere using a stealth drop pod. They fell silently. No fire, no sound. Clouds covered them. Satellites missed them. Even Earth's defense grid let them pass. But only because it wanted to see where they would go. They landed in Antarctica. Cold winds howled around them. Machines froze. Their sensors jammed. But under the ice, they detected a strange power signal, pulsing, steady, old. They drilled through the ice. Hours passed. The signal grew stronger than they saw it. A black metal surface, smooth and massive. A hidden structure buried under miles of ice. Symbols were written across it, glowing faintly. But they weren't alien symbols. They were written in Galactic Standard, and one line repeated over and over. Property of Earth. Return if found. The spies were stunned. Earth didn't just learn the language. It had mastered it. They tried to take scans. But the moment they activated their equipment, the surface lit up. The ground shook. And from inside the vault, something stirred. The spies turned to run, but the ice closed behind them, trapped. One of them activated an emergency beacon, hoping to send data back to the council. The signal was blocked. Then a voice came through their comms. Unauthorized entry detected. You have 15 seconds to surrender. It was calm. Male. Human. The spies panicked. They fired at the walls. Nothing happened. The bullets vanished, dissolved midair. The voice returned. Time expired. A flash of light and silence. Nothing remained at the Galactic Council. The Krull Syndicate waited for their spies to report. But no signal came. Just like the probe, just like the pirate ship, they were gone. The Council demanded answers. Vex watched the chaos. No one knew what to do. We have crossed a line, he said. Herstoke looked at him. What line? It's the one between watching and provoking, Vex replied. Earth has given warnings, and now they've started erasing threats. Zeraton spoke nervously. But what is under the ice? That power, those symbols, it's not human tech. It's too old, Vex nodded. Exactly. It's not what they built. It's what they found, and now they control it. Back on Earth, in a hidden command center far below Antarctica, woman in a black uniform stood before a large screen. She was Commander Ray, one of Earth's top defense officers. She watched as the ice above reset clean, smooth, untouched. They sent another team, said her aide. She nodded. They're getting bold, the aide asked. Should we strike back? Commander Ray looked at the massive vault, still humming softly. Not yet, she said. Let them wonder. Let them fear. She walked over to a control panel. Inside. Dozens of lights blinked, each linked to a different hidden Earth weapon across the planet Moon. In deep space. But one switch was locked behind glass. Project Apex. Ray stared at it. They still don't know what sleeps beneath this world, she said quietly. If they wake it, not even stars will save them. Fear had spread across the Galactic Council. 3 powerful warships destroyed. A spy team lost in Antarctica. 2 probes vanished without a trace. Earth had given silent warnings. Each one ended with complete erasure. The Council had never seen power like this. Silent, fast, and precise. But instead of uniting for peace, many empires let fear turn into anger. They believed Earth was becoming a threat to the entire galaxy. So, Council gathered again, this time not to laugh, this time to make demands. Inside the main chamber, every leader was present. Their faces were hard, serious, and nervous. A large screen in the center displayed Earth, slowly spinning in the dark of space. Chancellor Rethok stood up first. We gave Earth its place among the stars, he said. We watched them grow. But now they hide dangerous technology and destroy Council ships. We must act. The Krull leader spoke next. We demand Earth give up its hidden weapons. They must surrender all control of ancient machines. Zeraton, who once joked about humans, now looked terrified. If we do not act now, Earth may. Act first. Then the vote was called. 17 systems voted for war. 11 voted for peace. 7 stayed silent. The final result, Earth had to surrender or face full invasion. A message was sent to Earth. It said, surrender all forbidden technology. Open your bases. Submit to full inspection. Failure to obey will be seen as a declaration of war. It was the strongest message ever sent to a single world. The Council waited. But Earth didn't respond. Not for hours, not for days, nothing. Until a small black ship appeared above the Galactic Council station. It had no weapons, no escort. It simply drifted into orbit. Security teams panicked. Warships locked on. Defenses powered up. The ship didn't run. It sent no threat. Instead, it dropped. A single silver capsule. The capsule floated gently down and landed at the center of the council hall without triggering a single alarm. Inside was a hologram. The lights dimmed. The hologram turned on, and the entire council froze in horror. The hologram showed private files, every leader's secrets, every war crime, every betrayal, every hidden plan, documents, videos, voice logs. Earth had everything. Files from systems no one could hack, communications buried in secure cores, even conversations inside private, star-yachts. All exposed. The leaders stared at each other in silence. How did they get this? One whispered. They were watching us, another said.
All this time.
Earthok tried to speak, but stopped. His crimes were listed too. The hologram ended with one final message. A calm human voice spoke. We do not fear war, but we will not be ruled. Stand down, or lose everything you have ever hidden. Then the capsule exploded. Not with fire, but light. For exactly 60 seconds. Every power system in the Council's fleet shut down. Lights died. Engines stalled. Weapons failed. Every ship went dark. And then, everything came back online, just as it was before. No damage. But a clear message. Earth had full control. Vex stood in the shadows, watching the chaos. He spoke softly, but every leader heard him. They didn't attack. They warned us again. Warned us, shouted one leader. They threatened our very lives. No, Vex said. They exposed our truth. He looked around the room. They could have destroyed this station, and they could have killed us, but they didn't. Why? No one answered. Vex stepped forward. Because humans are. Not just strong, they are measured. That is what makes them dangerous. Back on Earth, Commander Ray watched the results of the council meeting from a silent control room. Her aide smiled. They won't attack now. Not yet, Ray replied. They're still deciding. Still afraid. Should we prepare the Black Fleet? Commander Ray looked at the star map glowing on the wall. Dozens of red dots blinked. Council fleets moving into position. Watching. Waiting. No, she said. Let them come closer. Let them feel safe again. She turned to a locked screen marked Phase 2, Override Key Active. Her voice was calm. They asked for surrender. But the next time they demand something, she tapped the screen. They'll see what happens when Earth finally stops holding back. The galaxy had expected Earth to surrender. Instead, Earth showed them every secret the Council tried to hide and then shut down the Council's fleet for 1 minute. No shots were fired, no ships destroyed. But the message was clear. Earth was no longer afraid. Now, something strange was happening near the Sol system. Across Earth's moon, deep in the oceans, and hidden behind gas giants, dark ships began to rise. They had no names, no flags, no colors. They made no sound and sent no signals. But they were moving. Earth's silent fleet had awakened. The first to notice was a small observation station near Pluto. It was run by a neutral species called the Corlands. They were peaceful, careful, and never got involved in wars. But when their scanners picked up the movement of over 300 unidentified ships, they panicked. There's no energy spike, shouted the Corland technician. They just appear and move. The commander stared at the screen. Are they human? Unknown, but they came from Earth's space. All ships are black. Stealth systems are perfect. We can barely track them. And the power flickered. For a moment, every screen went blank. When they came back on, A new message had appeared. Do not follow. Do not speak. Watch, ... And remember. The Corlins didn't say a word. They shut down all scans and let the fleet pass in silence. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, panic was spreading. Reports came from all sectors. One Terran ship was seen silently. Crossing a trade route, it caused 10 cargo fleets to retreat. Another was spotted near a pirate moon 2 minutes later. The entire pirate base had vanished. No lasers. No explosions. Just gone. Even bounty hunters stopped hunting. No one wanted to be next. In the Galactic Council Hall, fear returned. How many ships do they have? Asked Ziraton. Unknown, said the intelligence officer. We believe they've been building in secret for decades. Underground, underwater, even inside asteroids. They are ghosts, another shouted. They do not exist on any record, yet they fly freely. Arthok stood up. Where are they going? No one had the answer. Then Admiral Vex spoke. They are moving toward the outer rim. Why? Thok asked. Vex looked at the map. He had fought wars in that area. It was lawless space, full of old threats and broken systems. They're not invading, Vex said. They're cleaning. He was right in the outer rim. Earth's silent fleet began its silent work. Old slaver empires vanished, without trace. Warlord stations went dark in seconds. Planets once ruled by fear now had peace, not because of war, but because Earth erased the problem, and Earth said nothing. No messages, no broadcasts, no claims of power, just action. Back on Earth, inside a mountain base known as Deep Core 6, Commander Ray stood at the center of the control hub. Giant screens showed the movement of the fleet, silent arcs across the galaxy. How many systems have we secured? She asked. 13, her aide replied. No survivors from criminal empires. Civilian populations unharmed. Good, Ray said. The Council watches. Let them think we're unpredictable. That's our greatest weapon. She turned toward a large case locked behind a glass shield. Inside was a black device marked, only with one word, Black Star. The aide looked nervous. Should we prepare Phase 3? Commander Ray smiled coldly. Not yet. Let them watch our fleet. Let them fear ships they can't catch. She walked to the window. Stars stretched across the sky. When the Council moves again?
Yes.
When we release Black Star, far above, in deep space, a single Council scout ship tried to follow the fleet. They thought they were hidden. They thought they were safe. Then all their screens went black. A single word appeared. Leave. Ship turned and ran. Because now, everyone knew Earth didn't just have ships. Earth had control. Korgan Prime was the most protected military station in the galaxy. It sat in the center of 5 star systems. A giant black fortress, shaped like a spinning blade, surrounded by 312 warships. The station had layers of shields, anti-ship cannons, drone fleets, and AI-controlled defenses. No enemy had ever touched it, the Galactic Council believed. Korgan Prime was unbeatable. Until Earth's silent fleet arrived. The first sign came as a whisper through deep space signals. One Corlin merchant ship, passing near Korgan's territory, picked up a strange reading, shadows moving through space. No light, no sound. Just black shapes gliding like sharks through the stars. The Corlin ship turned away instantly and sent a single message to the Council. They are here. Within minutes, every ship at Korgan Prime went on high alert. Admirals activated battle stations. Pilots entered fighters. Defense satellites spun into attack position. And still, Terran fleet said nothing. They didn't hail. They didn't stop. They just came closer from inside Korgan's main command deck. Supreme Warden Grax. Watch the dark fleet approach. They have no energy spikes, a young officer said. No weapons ready, said another. But they're moving straight at us. Grax narrowed his eyes. They want us to strike first. He gritted his teeth. Fine. Give them what they want. Thousands of weapons fired at once. Lasers, plasma bolts, railguns, a rain of death. Filled space, but it hit nothing. The Terran ships vanished. No impact, no shield reaction, just gone. Where did they go? Grack shouted. The sensors blinked, and then they were inside the defense line, from every direction. Black Terran ships appeared again, not warping in, not flying, just appearing, as if space itself opened doors for them. The first Korgan. Warship shut down, then the second, then 50 more. They didn't explode. They didn't break apart. They simply powered off and floated like dead metal. Grax's mouth went dry. EMP weapons. No. This is something else, said a technician. They're rewriting our systems while they're still online. He looked up. Sir, they're inside our code. Then Korgan Prime itself began to dim in the main hallway of the station. Lights flickered. Soldiers tried to move. Doors locked. Robots stopped walking. Alarms rang. But no one knew what for. Every screen across the base turned black. Then words appeared. We warned you. And then, this is mercy. One final pulse of energy hit the core of the station, soft like a wave of heat. No fire, no blast, just silence. All systems shut down. Korgan Prime went dark, far away in the Galactic. Council Hall panic exploded. How can this happen? Korgan was our strongest station. They didn't even fire weapons. Vex stood calmly as the leader shouted. He tapped a small screen in his hand. The last message from Korgan, he said. Play it. The room grew quiet. The voice came through, shaking, terrified, final. They control the void itself. We never had a chance. Back in Earth's deep Core 6 command center, Commander Ray stood before a wall of silent screens. Each one showed a floating Korgan warship dead. Cold, drifting. How many did we disable? She asked. Her aide replied, all 312. The station too. No life lost. Systems are frozen. Good, Ray said. They still believe we're just testing them. The aide swallowed hard. But what happens if they attack Earth directly? Ray didn't blink. Then we stopped showing mercy. She turned toward the glass vault, marked Black Star. It's almost time. For the first time in galactic history, Korgan Prime had fallen, not from war, not from invasion, but from a power the galaxy didn't understand. And still, Earth said nothing. No message. No claim. Just the soft echo of silence across the stars. Korgan Prime had fallen, the most secure military base in the galaxy, gone in minutes. No explosions, no survivors lost, just darkness. The galaxy went silent. Empires that once called Earth Week now held emergency meetings. Fleets were recalled. Spy missions were canceled. For the first time, the Council didn't know what to do, because Earth wasn't talking. Earth wasn't asking. Earth was deciding then. Without warning, space opened above the Council Hall. It wasn't a ship. It wasn't a weapon. It was a doorway. A silent, glowing crack in space. And through it stepped one human. A man, no armor, no guards. No ship, just a black uniform with a silver emblem, a star wrapped in a circle. Security bots rushed forward. They froze mid-step, not shut down, frozen. Like time itself had paused around them. The council leaders stood in shock. The human spoke. The voice was calm, not angry, not loud, just certain. You sent threats. You gave orders, now we give ours. He raised one hand. A small device floated upward and projected a star map. Dozens of red dots flashed on the map, each one a secret military project, spy base, or hidden weapon in council space. You will. Shut them down, the human said. Today, Ziraton tried to speak. This is blackmail. The man turned his eyes toward him. Ziraton stopped breathing for 3 seconds. No one else spoke. You used fear to rule the human. Continued. You called us weak. Then you tried to break us. He stepped closer. You didn't understand humans. You still don't. He touched the table. Instantly, every system in the council hall powered down. Screens, weapons, communications, everything. It's gone. The room glowed only with the doorway's light. You think strength is in firepower? He said, but Earth survived things you cannot imagine. Wars, extinction, hunger, fire, ice, and we endured. Then, he showed them a final image, the Black Star. Not a ship, not a bomb, but something beyond their understanding. It pulsed, like a heartbeat. Space around it bent and twisted. Stars seemed to disappear when it moved. "This is not our greatest weapon," the man said. "This is our final one. If we use it, there will be no galaxy left to rule." He turned to leave. "But we don't want war. We never did." He paused at the glowing doorway. "We want peace. A real one. Built on respect." He looked back. "Follow the law we give now, or fade into history." Then he stepped through the portal. It closed behind him, and all systems in the council. Hall turned back on, like nothing had happened, except everything had. Hours later, every red dot on the map disappeared as council empires rushed to shut down their hidden weapons. Treaties were rewritten, borders were erased, a new agreement was signed by all systems. One simple rule: Earth's law stands. The Terran fleet returned to silence. But now, silence was respected, not feared, but obeyed. On Earth, Commander Ray stood watching the stars. Her aide spoke. The council followed the demands. "Everything's changed." Ray nodded. "Good. Let the galaxy breathe." The aide looked at her. "Will we need the Black Star again?" Ray gave a small smile. "Only if they forget." And across the stars, a quiet message spread. Not a threat, not a challenge. Yes, truth. They ignored Earth's power until one attack changed everything forever.